All right, people. So the MM720, I think easily the most underrated mouse of the year here. I'm surprised to see so many mixed opinions about this mouse, and frankly, I think it has everything to do with just this shape here. But for me, this thing has been an amazing mouse. Uh, Honestly has helped me break a couple of my own personal aim lab records. Not that that matters, but certainly I think this does everything good with a gaming mouse though, right? Like even though it's wired, you got the LK optical switches, which I think a lot of people have mixed opinions about. I think they're great, and I think these LK optical switches are a lot better than some of the Kailh switches that we're seeing a lot of these mouse manufacturers put into their mouse. I just think Kailh switches in general are so fatiguing. At least with these optical switches, you can spam them. You can spam them endlessly without your fingers ever fatiguing. Side buttons are pretty great. They're just side buttons. PixArt 3389 sensor tracks awesome. No complaints there. The weight, it's advertised at about 49 grams. I think to me it's more of a 50-ish, 54 gram-ish mouse. Still feels super light and super balanced, right? To get a mouse that's sub 50-ish grams, that's a pretty great feature to have already in a mouse. Huge stock mouse feet. Overall, like such a great mouse. The cables here as well. It's so great. I mean, like this thing doesn't tangle at all. For me at least, I never had to use a mouse bungee for this. This thing was so flexible and so great. Just an awesome mouse altogether. I tend to fingertip my mouse, right? And this thing feels so secure in the hand, right? Usually, I'd mentioned this in a previous video, I'd like to have the back of the mouse to touch my palm, but for this, that's not really the case, right? If you have a look at it here, it's not even touching my palm, so I'm for the most part fingertipping this, and it feels so secure and so great. Tracking with this thing is so awesome. Flicks are even more secure. This thing is a great mouse. I can't stop raving about this mouse, and I feel like it's such an underrated mouse. I feel like a lot of people should be trying this mouse out, right? Especially, with it being $45, this thing's a steal. Honestly, this is a great mouse. I'm surprised not a lot of people have been going for this, and I'm so happy to see a lot of reviewers, like fresh reviews, just trying this mouse out recently and singing their praises for this mouse. This mouse I think deserves a lot of praise. Like it's such a great mouse and so affordable. I've actually been using the black MM720 for a little bit. I used lizard grips on it as well, so I actually just like lizard grips better. Like I think it's so great that Cooler Master is including, stock grips for these mice as well. I just prefer something like these lizard grips here. They feel like BTLs, and they just, I think they just hold much better. But for me, this is easily an endgame mouse. I'm not sure why a lot of people haven't really been playing with it. It's designed to be a claw mouse. I think it works great as a claw mouse. Fingertip works fine for me. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're going to be palming this thing as much, right? I think it might be a little too small for palming, but certainly I think this is great all around. Just a fantastic and extremely comfortable mouse. I think if we were to look at some of the drawbacks, I do think this scroll wheel is a little light. The steps itself is a little bit, it doesn't feel very satisfying. But that's such a small nitpick on this mouse. Yeah, so I'm actually not sure how I feel about this glossy coat. not a fingerprint magnet, and it certainly keeps its grip. I mean, for a glossy coat, it's actually not that bad. I think for better grip, you might want to go something like the matte black coating. I goofed the lizard skins a little bit. So what actually ended up happening was, because these lizard skins come in like a fruit roll up, I took the stock grips and actually just put them on top of the lizard skin, traced around it, and just cut them out. These are good grips too. And I think, again, Cooler Master is really great for giving you grips and an extra pair of stock feet. I've had this guy for about a year, and you know, it's still awesome. If you thought it was secure before, just having that ring finger rest there, add some grips to it. Now it's never leaving your hand. I know a lot of people think it's a little too wide. I don't think so at all. I think it's so comfortable to hold. It's almost like you're holding something pretty normal. You know, you're not cramping your hand using this mouse. This is a great mouse. Give it a try, guys. $45. What do you have to lose? You know what? It's kind of strange to me that, you know, I've seen some of the posts on Reddit and some of the comments saying that this mouse has had such bad quality control issues. I can't see how. I mean, first of all, it's a $45 mouse. I don't expect it to be built out of magnesium, but it's solid. Like, you know, no rattling. This is my second one, and you know, even my first one's been built like a tank. No trigger wobble. I'm curious to know what sort of quality control issues people are having with this mouse, because this thing has been a gem, honestly. Just with the Finalmouse aside here, still using the Finalmouse. I think I invested a little too much into the Finalmouse, so still using the Finalmouse, but playing with my Finalmouse, I'm looking over at this thing every so often. This thing does a lot for me. It's been super reliable, and man, for a $45 mouse, this thing is a steal. Alrighty, everybody. That's about it for the MM720 today. Yeah, hope to catch you guys in the neighborhood again. Thanks for tuning in. Hello.